Hello, Tasha. How are you? Good. I am glad to hear it. Yeah. Hello, Kennedy. Hello, Calandis. How are you? How are we? We all okay? Oh no, I'm almost out of orange juice. I'm very sad. Oh, Tajay, when I was in college, I had to drink so much cranberry juice that it is ruined for me unless it's mixed with something else like Sprite, like when they have cranberry Sprite at the holidays or cranberry orange. But I can't drink just cranberry juice anymore. But I went to Sonic and got breakfast because I was starving. Like I'm normally not a breakfast eater, so I don't know what happened. But by the time second period rolled around, Mr. Linegar came in to watch the classroom for me, and I was like, I gotta go get food. I'm so hungry. Yeah, I never eat breakfast. I almost never do. And then like today I was just like I guess maybe I did eat dinner really early yesterday and I didn't really have like any snacks after, so maybe that's why I was like I'm not going to make it to lunch. I got to eat now. What was my favorite subject? You mean like high school? Um, I did. I took a lot of English classes. I have two bachelor's degrees, and my other. Well, I mean, I had a double major, so my other degree is in English. I also liked chemistry class a lot, and I liked algebra. I liked math until it got to like shapes, and then when it got to like geometry and trig and stuff. I was like, nope, bye. um, so yeah, I guess a lot of times it was like, all you like algebra most, even with the shapes. Yeah, I just like, I was just not very good at that. And the teacher who taught it, I did like, she was not very nice. And so when I got the chance to take physics instead with a teacher who was like really cool, I was like, bye. I think I'm going to take this other class. Because, I think a lot of times, like the teachers that you have, like can really, like maybe if I'd had a teacher who I really liked for like geometry and stuff, maybe I would have kept going with it. But she just was not a very good teacher. She wasn't very nice. She didn't like, I don't know, like I think she was new, so she was kind of like I think she felt like she needed to put everybody in their place all the time, and like that didn't work very well. As I'm sure you guys know. But yeah, I wasn't very good at math. That's probably my weakest subject is math. No, that's not true. My weakest subject by far was biology. I was not good at biology at all. Hi, Gabrielle. How are you? Your weakest is world geography. World geography is hard. Like, it's a difficult, hey, it's a really difficult subject. So it starts in 2 minutes. But yeah, world geography is hard. So if you have trouble with world geography, just like remember that like that's one of the hardest subjects. So in my opinion, anyway. Like I know a lot of world history stuff, but I don't know much about like in college there were these kids that were in the what's it called? Model UN. I don't know if you guys know what Model UN is. And they would just sit there and just like name countries like alphabetically. It was wild to listen to. Did you guys get the email from me about our link for today? Because we're missing so many people. Makes me nervous. Oh, there's Natalie. Okay, guys, we got about 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and get logged on to your next class. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Sean. Oh, he's not connected yet. There he is. Hi, Sean. Okay, guys, it's 10 after. Let's go. I'll be right back. Cool. Thank you for telling me, Tajay. So what I was saying was go ahead and get a Google Doc going unless you prefer to use Microsoft Word. Sorry, I was shouting at, I'm in a room full of ninth graders, so I was shouting at them. So we are going to have essentially, it's called a draft day, but I'm really going to, I want to walk you guys through some basic principles of paper writing. Some of it you might already know, some of it you may not. So it's gonna, it's gonna depend on how familiar you are with paper writing, how comfortable you are with paper writing. But at the very least, we will all be on the same page after today. So did everybody get a chance to watch their play over the weekend? No? Okay. Well, that was part of the assignment, right? Was to watch your play over the weekend. So I need to know what everybody is. Yes. What's up? Oh, did you not get the email? Did you check your Outlook? In Outlook, I sent an email with the information. If not, I can give it to you here, but. Okay, watched most of it. No, nope. I had to go to a funeral. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, so we're not going to be able to do a ton of stuff if you have not watched your play. You got it? No? Okay. Okay, so it is the meeting ID. We have the meeting ID is 998 0698 1714. And then you need the password. It's 5LXE. Those are capital. Lowercase x, uppercase P. Yep, there we go. Yep, you are very welcome. Okay, so the first thing is that I would like you guys to determine what play it is that you are going to watch if you don't already know. So please look at the, some of you chose to use a list that I provided. Some of you wanted to find your own play, okay? So if you know what play you're watching, tell me. If you need a list of plays to pick from, let me know. And I'm making a list right now. Okay, so people who want a list of plays to pick from, I will give you a YouTube list of musicals, okay? Make sure that you have access to the play that you're going to watch before you send it to me. So make sure that you can find the whole play. Okay, so Gabrielle, do you have access to the whole play? You're going to tell me what play you're going to watch if you haven't already watched a play. Okay, so Gabrielle's got hers. And give me 2 seconds and I will give you guys a YouTube playlist of a bunch of plays. And then I'm also going to give you, so here's a list of a bunch of musicals. There's also this, oh, sorry, Gabrielle, I didn't mean to send that just to you. Here's a list of a bunch of musicals. There's also this website that you can get a free 7-day trial on. And then there's a bunch on Amazon Prime. So I need to know what play you're doing once you know. I've only heard from Gabrielle so far. Okay, so I've got Evelyn's. Okay, Paige, and you found access to that because there is a version, a whole version. And then Gabrielle told me hers. Okay. So please, I'm going to give you 20 minutes to pick a play. Yes, Natalie, that's good. Desiree, I forgot that the title is normally in all caps, so I thought you were just very excited about. Okay, there's a list up above, Kennedy, and then there's some other ones that you can recommend, or that some websites that you can look at. Okay, so we've got Matilda. Tajay is going to do Matilda. You were supposed to watch the play over the weekend, but several people did not. I sent an email about how I wanted you to pick your play and watch it over the weekend. So now this is for your paper, Ayat. Okay, so make sure that the link works, right? And that you're going to be able to watch the whole thing. Ileana, make sure that one works because somebody told me that it didn't. It works for me, but somebody said that it wasn't working for them. So just double check to make sure that the links work. Because I don't want you to pick a play and then the link doesn't actually work for it. Okay, I thought so too. So thank you for confirming that for me, Ileana. So yes, you can do that. I have no problem with that at all. So yes, there's a link to a YouTube playlist. Make sure the links work. There's also BroadwayHD.com where you can very easily get a 7-day free trial and watch a play on there. So if you don't like musicals, there's also a lot of plays on for free. Nope, don't watch it now. This is not time for watching our play, but this is time for picking our play. So I'm going to go ahead and put a timer on. I want to hear from everybody. Desiree, yes, you can. So I can find it for you, Paige, because it is available. Let me find it for you really quick. Because if you're interested in that, there is a version of it that is, yes, Rosalind, it is. Yes, Kennedy, you can. It's a playlist, so it's in a few parts. But Paige, here you go. You are very welcome. Okay, so Rosalind picked Hairspray. So I'm waiting for, yep, sure, Montserrat, that's fine. There's also a version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on that YouTube list that I posted. If you are a fan of that, the Broadway version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yes, you can pick your own play as long as you can find access to the entire thing. No, you cannot leave. Why would you leave? Nope, Sean, you can do that one. We're not just watching our plays today. You were supposed to already have watched your play. Landis, did you pick your play? I don't have it logs you out. What's logging you out? You mean you need to leave Zoom and come back? Is that what you're saying? You mean you need to leave to look at the thing? I don't know what you're saying. It logs you out and then you have to log back in. What logs you out? The Zoom. The Zoom is logging you out now and making you log back in, or when you try to click on a link? I mean, you're going to miss out on today's instruction. So I guess it's up to you. I need to know what play you're going to do though. So I haven't heard from Ayat, Isaac, Glandis, Arnold, Isabella, Kyler, and Zachary. Okay, thank you, Kyler. Okay, thank you, Arnold. Oh yes, I did get your email. I forgot. Thank you very much. Okay, so Ayat, Isaac, Zachary, Isabella. Okay, did you find the whole thing, Ayat? Okay, perfect, wonderful. Just wanted to make sure. Yes. Isabella and Zachary. Okay. Isabella's still here? Yes. Zachary and Isabella. Those are the last two. I'm waiting. Okay, Tajay, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is under something called like Factory Mayhem. Isabella is picking Taming of the Shrew. Evelyn, yes, you can. There is a version of Hamilton that is in that. Y'all are killing me. Zachary, did you find the entire thing online that you can watch from Death of a Salesman? This assignment is in Schoology. It's been in Schoology for over a week. We have talked about this for quite a while. So somebody tell, when is this due? Where can you find where it is due? Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make it 11:20. And please don't make me regret that. Okay, so it's right here. Yeah, I'm going to give you till the 20th. So please go ahead, go here, read this, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes, okay? So go ahead and read that, and I will be right back. Okay, so everybody has their play. Now, originally you were supposed to watch it over the weekend. Since if you didn't, you need to watch it before class on Wednesday. Okay? So if you did not watch your play over the weekend, you have to watch it before class on Wednesday because that's going to be the day where we're going to actually go through the content of what you have to write for this. Okay? Now, this is called an RPA paper. It is assigned by Summit, not by me, okay? So the identification, all of this stuff that's required, this is required by Summit, okay? So you need to, the biggest thing here is the word count. The word count is required. You cannot get a grade on this if you write below 700 words or above 950. Okay. So what questions do we have right off the bat off of this assignment? Now that you know what play you're going to write about, read over this very carefully, the skills, what you're going to do. What questions do you have? You can either put them in the chat or you can come off mute. And if you don't have any questions, let me know that you don't have any questions. Okay, a couple of people are saying they don't have questions. No questions, okay. It is due on the 20th. That is correct, Evelyn. That's why we initially went over this on last Monday, I think. The 9th or the 11th is when we first went over it. No, it was Tuesday. It was the 10th because I had you guys Tuesday, Thursday last week. Okay, so I need for you to tell me if you prefer to write this in a Google Doc or if you are going to use Microsoft Word. Google Doc, Google Doc, Google Doc, Google Doc. Okay, perfect, wonderful, great. So there's two things about this. Number one is that you can send your draft to me. If you go into 1120 with papers due, there's a link to submit your final papers here. It's going to take you to a Google folder, okay? And you know that you have to click this little thing right over here. It's going to take you to a Google folder where you can put your Google Doc into the folder. So if you want to submit it early so that I can look over it, you can put it in this folder, okay? Then shoot me an email because let me know, like, hey, I put my paper in, okay? So let's talk about formatting. So I have my untitled document here. Obviously, I'm going to give it a name. So we're just going to say RPA paper sample. Okay. Now, for the purposes of most college papers, what font are you going to use? Gracias, Eliana, gracias, Isaac, and Natalie. Yes, Times New Roman 12-point font, right? Okay. So if you are unsure on how to format your doc, go ahead and just follow along with these steps and you'll already have this started. Okay. Right here, your left align, that's primarily what you're going to use, right? What about spacing? What kind of line spacing do we use for a college paper? Yes, excellent, double, okay? So double right here, all right? So what's the first thing that we put down? Nope, not your title. Your title comes later. Yeah, thank you, Montserrat. Yes, I know it sounds silly, but the first thing you need to put down is your name. Then what? What comes next? The date. Okay, good. And it sort of depends on, most professors don't really care how you format the date as long as you have a date, right? Then page says your class period, okay? And we're 4A, right? Okay, that's the minimum, right? That's the minimum of what you need to have up over here. Some people will put then the name of the professor or the teacher, right? So like the last thing here would be the name of the professor. As a college professor, as a teacher, I'm not very picky about that. Yep, we're going to do that after we get started, Sean. But yes, you are correct. So Sean mentions having a header, right? So if you have a multi-page paper, you would do a header, right? And you can do that whenever you want. I usually put my header in at the end just because that's when I do it, right? But we align it, right, at the right alignment. We put our last name, and then we put page number, and then usually different first page. So that, oh, not like that though. And you can start at whatever you want, right? So we have starting with 0, right? Which I don't do. I don't do a page number that starts at 0, right? Because what is this first page? It's a page, right? So it sort of depends on what your teacher wants. Okay. But I don't do, in fact, I don't even do a header on my first page. I start at 1, and then it will show up on my second page. So it sort of depends, because like here's my name for the first page, right? But it depends on what you like. And it depends on what they're asking for. Like for instance, let me show you guys really quick. Okay, so like for instance, when I wrote, let's see how long this takes to load. It might take too long. We might have to find just a chapter. Let's find just a chapter. Okay. Oh, it had loaded. Okay, so when I wrote my dissertation, right, this is how it was supposed to look. And then at the school that I go to, they want the page number at the bottom, like this. So it depends on where you are and what you're doing, okay? Does that make sense? Do we understand? So for this paper, I don't care really if you have a header or not for this paper. It depends on what you like, and what it really depends on at this point, your style. Okay. If you like the style of that, what I care about is that we have our name, we have our date, and we have the class. Okay. Now what comes next? Isaac, you can. Yeah, we're going to talk about that for sure. Isaac was asking about in-text citations. We can talk about that. So what are we going to do next, though, for our paper, for our RPA paper? What comes next after the name and the date and if you're following along, title. Yes, Paige, good job. So next page, title. Now this is going to be centered, right? And it's going to depend on what musical or play you're writing about, right? So you could title it something really simple, like Review of The King and I. Now, what did I do to the title of the play, The King and I, the title of the musical? Italics. Yes, you should always put the names of a play in italics, just like you would a book or a movie, right? Okay. So you could make your title something very simple. Again, it's style. It depends. It's totally up to you. If you want to, do some fun stuff with it, you totally can, right? Now we got to go back to left align, right? Okay. So we're going to start our paper. How do we start our paper? What's the first button we have to? Yes, thank you. Indent. Okay. So how do we indent? What key do we use to indent? Tab. Do, do, do. So in this paper, I am going to discuss the production directed by whoever. This is just an example, right? Okay, so this is a very simple thing, right? In this paper, I am going to discuss the production of The King and I, directed by Sean Miller. I would suggest that you do something like this that tells us exactly what version it is that you watched, right? Because especially if you're doing something like Romeo and Juliet, there's lots and lots and lots of different versions of Romeo and Juliet, right? So you could put the director, or you could put maybe like starring whoever it is that starred in that, right? Okay. So whichever one is easiest for you, just so we know exactly what version you watched. Okay. So how do you know how many words you've written? Word count. Where do you see the word count? Tools. All right. Heck yeah. You guys are doing great. Word count, right? Pops it up so that we know exactly how many words that we have. Okay. Now, if I were you, I just do display word count while typing. So it shows up in the bottom corner so that as you're writing, you know exactly how close you are to getting to that word count. Now, I don't think we talked in here about a summary. Okay. So think about 21 Chump Street, right? How would you write a summary of 21 Chump Street? What would you say? So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. I'm going to say, so if I was going to, what the play is about. Okay, so we all watched it, right? So what is 21 Chump Street about? Okay, so it takes place in a high school. Okay. So I want some full sentences here. If I said, give me a summary of 21 Chump Street. What would you want to include? What would you have to include? So it's a play that takes place in a high school. Okay. In Florida, right? Is that important? Maybe. We'll figure it out. An undercover cop. Oh, okay. I like this. An undercover. Sorry, I can't type. Undercover cop who goes to a high school in Florida to try and bust drug dealers. While she's there, a student falls in love with her. Okay. Okay, so there's some information. Okay. Now, is the play, though, really about the cop? Is my next question. Aha. No, 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 no. Okay, so we've got some information, right? So it's a play about the student. Okay, do you guys remember his name? Let's Google it. Okay. Okay, so Let's go. This is from linmanuel.com, 21 Chump Street. It's about Justin. Okay. That's a cute picture. Okay. Is a play about a high school student named Justin. Right? Now what? And an undercover cop who goes to a high school in Florida, maybe? Does that work? Okay. Yeah, you're right, Paige. Yeah, so we got to get to that, right? So she goes to a high school. Justin, what happens to Justin? He falls in love. Maybe what if we did, and Naomi, an undercover cop who goes to a high school in Florida. Justin falls in love with Naomi. Does that work? And what does he do? Ah ha ha, yes. Trying to impress her. He is arrested and what? Okay. Okay, so and loses his chance to go to college. What else would you want to add? This is pretty good. Is there anything else that we want to add? There's a couple of things we could add here. We could say that he's an honor roll student somewhere, right? Maybe. We could get rid of in Florida. Right? So now we're at 55 words, right? We could get rid of this part because we already said high school student. And now we're at 50 words. Yeah. That's pretty good, right? 50 words. Does that do a good enough job to summarize the play? Yes? Okay. So what I suggest you do is you write it how, like more detailed, and then you've got to really comb through it and say, what do I really need to tell the audience about this play, right? What is it that I really need to use, like to say? We could even actually say that it's not just a play, it's a musical, right? And it is a musical written by, okay. So what do I really have to tell the story, right? And sort of get rid of all the extra stuff, okay? All right. So let's look at what the website is. This is their version. This is their version here. A 14-minute musical based on a true story as reported in the series This American Life. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. Justin, the high school honors student, falls for a cute transfer girl, Naomi. At her request, he tries to score her, right? So this is their version of that short summary, right? So there's a lot in common between what we came up with and what their official short summary is, right? Okay, so we did pretty good, I would say. So would this website be a good, credible source if we were going to write our paper on 21 Chum Street? Yes, it would, right? So how would we cite this? We were going to write, if we were going to use this in our works cited, how would we cite it? MLA, okay. How do you cite a website in MLA? Aha, EasyBib, yes. Listen, if you don't use EasyBib, let me tell you, easybib.com is your friend. Make an account. Sign in. You can save all of these things. I had my whole dissertation on here. So we want to create a citation for a website, right? We're going to put the whole thing in there. Right? Click cite. It's probably going to make me watch a video. Let's see, continue. Nope. So now it wants to know who's the author. So let's go back to the website and see if it tells us. Does it have on here who wrote, who takes care of this website? Well, there's a thing here about Broadway Productions, right? Let's click contact and see what that says. Doesn't look like it has the information here, maybe for who runs it. However, we can use this idea of it being Broadway Productions and see if we can do that. No, it doesn't really say. So website title is Lin-Manuel. Publisher sponsor. There we are. We know the publisher sponsor down here, Broadway Productions, right? And then we hit complete. And then it's going to make us watch a little video. And it's about Java Monster. Ooh. Wow. It's got coffee with attitude, y'all. Coffee with attitude. Incredible. 5 more seconds. Have you guys ever had this stuff? Because I have not. It looks gross. Okay, click I'm done. And here we are, right there, right? There's our citation. You click copy. You go to your paper. Now, works cited. And boop. You don't want it, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. Okay. Now, technically, the second line gets indented in a, oh, that's not the right one. I can never remember when I go to drag one of those over, which one's the one that's going to make it indented and which one's not. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, there we go. So there's our works cited, right? How are we doing? Everybody doing okay? Everybody following along? Yes? Okay, good. So you start with your little summary, right? And if you go to the assignment, right, it says what kind of performance is this? And then why did you choose the body of work, right? What kind of performance is this and how do you know? Well, musicals are pretty easy. How do you know if something's a musical? It has singing. Yeah, exactly, right? So you can say, you know, this is clearly a musical based on we had the singing, we had the musical performers on stage, right? And the dancing, right? There was dancing in it, right? Okay. What next? So why did you choose it? What in the performance spoke to you? So this is all going to be personal stuff, right? Sorry, I have too much stuff. So I chose to write about this musical because I related to the subject matter. Also, okay? And then say, you know, like what questions do you have, right? That's all personal stuff, okay? So next paragraph, we're going to do the critique, okay? So now you're going to talk about essential elements. You're going to talk about how did the lighting, right? So again, this is pretty much your views. I thought that the lighting really worked to a difference between the locations that we went to throughout the play. The costumes made the actors look like real high schoolers. Okay. I can put it on Schoology as an example if you guys want to. It's not going to be a complete example, right? But if you guys want me to, yeah, sure. Okay. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll save it in that RPA folder that you guys will have access to in Schoology. And then you can just, okay. So you put in your critique, right? So this is the critique chapter. And then last we have our reflection, right? So the reflection part, when I watched the play, I thought about all of the students who may have been swept up in an undercover operation. How can I never spell operation the first time? Operation like this, right? Whatever, okay? So there's your reflection paragraph. You do your works cited. That's it. So yours has to be between 700 and 950 words long, right? So I just wrote 151 words. Not too bad, right? So 4 times what I just wrote, just slamming it out. Does this help? Is this helpful to watch this? Yes, it is? Okay. Okay, good. Well, that's okay. So then what we're going to do on Wednesday, you are very welcome. That's what I was hoping to do. What we're going to do on Wednesday is I would like you guys to bring your notes, right? You're going to have a Google Doc open, and I'm going to be able to sort of go through and help you as you are drafting very similar to this, okay? So please make sure that you have watched your play and bring your notes. Okay, let me save this to you. My drive. That RPA paper. Where did that go? Where is this in? It's always a mystery to me. Show file location. Oh, okay. So I'm going to drag that into that RPA papers folder. So double check right now in Schoology. If you go to this folder and then click on the papers due, check that link and see if you can get into the folder where you can see it. If not, I'll just go ahead and add. I'm going to do that anyway. I'll add a link just so that you've got it in a couple of different places. So there is an exit ticket, which you can go ahead and do. And then I have a little quick poll just for fun. If you guys could do this for me. Let me go back to where it is. Here, I'll end, stop sharing. So if you guys could do this little poll for me, a very scientific poll. Oh, and copy it. Copy. So do this and the exit ticket. And then, yeah, bring your notes to Wednesday and I will help you individually. I will help as many people as possible write their drafts. Okay. And if I don't get to you in class Wednesday, then we'll make time for you to come to work with me. Or we might even just do it again on Friday for the people who didn't get to work with me on Wednesday. Okay, so I'm going to also put the link in draft day for today. All right. Questions, concerns? Please do the exit ticket. I believe it's open, or it should be open. And then you have my very scientific poll. Mostly because I'm curious. I was having a conversation with a couple of friends over the weekend about what I thought my students would be. And I was like, I'm gonna make a poll and I'm gonna ask them what what Hogwarts house they're in. So why not? We have a lot of Slytherins. We have a lot of people who don't know. We have a lot of Ravenclaws. Yeah, Arnold, that's it. That's the poll. Yep, once you finish both, you're good to go. Thank you, Paige. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Bring your notes. You too. Bye-bye. If you haven't ever taken the test, Arnold, you can pick the I don't know, but I'll give you just some general things real quick. The poll and the exit ticket, Calandis, that's all. There you go, Arnold. There's a quick explanation. Oh, we got some lunch arriving here. It's on Schoology and the thing, right? Let me see. Tamales. That's way better than my lunch. That's better than what I got. The exit tickets in Schoology in today's folder. The opinion one, Sean, it is, are you talking about the critique? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. The poll, it is, oh, that didn't work. There's the poll. Oh, here it is, Sean. It's just one question. I was just having a debate with my friends over the weekend about what I thought my students would be mostly one certain house. And I am proving to be wrong so far, but I still have 3 classes and advisory left to ask, so. Yes, that is what the draft is, Kennedy. Yep. You are correct. Okay, thank you, Sean. I will see you on Wednesday. Bye. Bye, Kennedy. Bye, Gabrielle.